Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're doing my first Shop My Stash for 2023. I'm at my parents' house and I decided to bring a lot of makeup and make it the first Shop My Stash of the year. So I selected quite a few products. I always like to have options. And then I also have some palettes over here. And I'll just quickly go over whatever I took with me. The makeup look I did was with the Oud's Eye palette that we're going to talk about. So I hope this is a fun video for you. If so, I hope you'll consider subscribing because I upload lots of videos on makeup and a little bit on fashion, and I would love to share them with you. So let's just get right into whatever I brought with me for a weekend away. So I'm just going to go, I'm going to try to keep it a little bit organized, but I'm not sure if I'll succeed. So, of course, all these products, I selected them for this weekend, but after this weekend, they'll become my actual Shop My Stash. So I'll put them in my big box on my desk at home. So just so you know, I didn't just pack these things for this weekend. So we already start with a problem because I was convinced I had two primers, but let's just start with the one that I could find. So the one on my face right now is the High Glass Primer from NYX Cosmetics. I actually tried this in my shopping blog, I think that was the last video I uploaded, and I happen to really like it. It's sort of a Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter, but a little bit less coverage and a little bit less metallic, but it's really nice. It's also quite hydrating. Then for foundations, I think I chose three. So I have my more matte full coverage option, which is the Fit Me Matte and Poreless from Maybelline New York. I tried this about a year ago and I wanted to put it back in rotation. Then for my very low coverage, I have the Hydro Hero Skin Tint from Essence. And this is not my favorite, but there's also not that much product left, so I thought I could try to finish this one up. As you may know, my Shop My Stash is also my series here to explore whether I want to finish something up or not, or whether I want to maybe declutter it, or, you know, figure out what I want with products. And then my favorite option this rotation is my NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. This is the one I'm wearing right now. This is the perfect in-between, between glowy and matte, between full coverage and low coverage. I do need to prime well with this one, and I can't find the primer that I usually use with this. I use an oil with it. And then it's really, really pretty. And it wears pretty well as well. So I was quite content with those options. I like it when one of my favorite foundations is in the rotation. I chose three concealers, and I basically chose the three that I use a lot anyway. So these are basically the same as last month. So the one I use the most is the Benefit Buoyant Concealer. This is my matte, almost full coverage option. Then for more low coverage option in a deeper shade, this is my Chanel Le Correcteur in the shade 10, which is my skin tone, which I use when I don't use foundation, just to brighten up or to even out my skin tone a little bit. That's when I use this one. And then the one that I'm wearing today is my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Concealer. This is the beautiful radiant option, and I like using this when I'm using my NARS foundation. Let's quickly jump into some brow stuff, because that's actually what I always start with. So of course I packed my Pink Honey. This is going to be in every rotation, I think. This is what I'm wearing in my brows right now. And I always pack a brow pencil. This is the one from Curated. For powders, I decided to put my e.l.f. Halo Glow back in rotation. I bought this in December and I like it, but I need to get a little bit more of a feeling for it. It's a nice radiant powder, but for some reason it does look a little bit more dry on my under eyes. So I also picked a regular good old powder. This is the True Match Super Blendable Perfecting Powder from L'Oréal Paris. This is almost a powder foundation. This is what I used today. I really like this. I picked quite a bit of bronzer options, but I guess I picked a lot of options in all of these categories. So I have two powder and two liquid or cream bronzers. I also, from my shopping blog, is the Clinique bronzer. This is one that I discovered again, and I just thought it would look so pretty that I wanted to keep wearing it. Of course I forgot to today. I'm using something from my face palette today, but this is the beautiful, slightly sheeny, or actually quite sheeny Clinique bronzer. And then I also picked out my Glowish bronzer. I used this again yesterday. This used to be my favorite, but it got heartburn, so I didn't really like using it anymore, but it's still usable, and it's a nice subtle bronzer with a natural finish. This is really nice for when you don't want to look like this, like you have a lot of makeup on. And then something that I need to try out a little bit more is this e.l.f. body bronzer. I think this feels very dry, and it doesn't really pick up well on the brush, so not my favorite. But I'll need to give it a proper try. Then something I discovered recently, is this blush from Mitchell in Coppa Cool. This is actually a highlighter in a coppery shade, and this makes for a perfect glowy bronzer on me. So I want to experiment with this one a little bit more. Then I also put in a couple of other blushes. So I also have this contour blush in Hollow there, which I only used once yet, but this is my only contour product, I think. And then I also have these two blush blushes, or eye base blushes, in a very yellow and a very purpley shade. And I'm just going to experiment with these as a base for orange and purple or pink blushes. I think that could be kind of cool. Then I also picked out a powder blush. This is from Pat McGrath. This is in Flirtatious. And I really like the Pat McGrath blushes, but this is not my favorite shade. For some reason, when I don't pair this with the proper bronzer and highlighter, this looks very gray on me. Maybe you can even see it like this. It's just not the perfect tone for me. It's a little bit too cool toned, I think. Or a little bit too unsaturated. I'm not sure what it is, but I wanted to give it another shot. It's fun. Now that I reorganized all my makeup and did a small declutter, I feel like I can rotate through a lot more stuff. I see that I forgot one of my powders. This is the Glam of Sweden powder. This is actually in limbo at the moment. I didn't dare using it today because we are going out. And this is a very white powder that made my under eyes look very gray, even though I am very fair. But this is just not my favorite, but I want to see if it's doable, if I can finish it up. So that's why it's in here. Then I have one powder highlighter. This is one from Becca. I'm wearing it today. This is in the shade Vanilla Quartz. I use the Pearl one a lot, and I use the Prism Amethyst one a lot, but not this one. So no, it's actually not bad. The Becca highlighters are not my absolute favorite, but since I own 3 of them, I feel like I should rotate through them a little bit. I forgot to talk about eye bases. I put 2 in here that I'm trying to finish up. So this is the BU, this is a clear luminous eye primer, which is actually one of my favorites, but it's really old. So I'm trying to finish this one up. And then this one from Glamlight was my favorite for a long time, but I found out that it does still kind of crease on me very easily. So it's not my absolute favorite, and therefore I am also trying to finish it up. It's not bad, it's a little bit finicky. I have one more powder blush. This is the one that was in my project pan last year, but it's still one of my favorites. This is from Shiseido. It's in the shade Aura Pink, and as you can see, there's quite a dip in here. This is a beautiful, very pale pink, which works really well on my skin tone. It's not too pigmented, and it works really well in combination with a purple blush. So that's actually my new standard combination. Oh, I was wrong. I did put in another contour product. I put in my ABH contour stick in the shade Shadow, because I'm really not sure how I feel about this one. I use it as a contour slash bronzer. I want to see how I feel about this. I do really like this packaging though. It's really nice and weighty. I think there are only 2 mascaras. I think usually I would also put in something of a colored mascara, but for now I just wanted to wear my lashes a lot. I didn't put them on today, but therefore I packed only black mascaras. Both of them are almost done, so I need to repurchase these. These are the Lash Princess Waterproof from Essence and the Lift Up Power Hold Waterproof Mascara from Catrice. You hear me talking about these all the time. This is actually my favorite over this one. I recently discovered that it does make my lashes look prettier. I'll use the Power Hold one underneath fake lashes. I think I skipped over a couple of cheek products, or actually just 2 more. I put in my Clarins Glow to Go stick. This is really pretty. It has a nice pink liquid or cream blush, and then this really interesting almost purpley silver highlighter. And yeah, I was really excited about this at some point, so I wanted to be excited about it again. Of course I keep forgetting to use it, but its time will come. And then I also put in 2 liquid highlighters, mainly because I want to get some use out of them. This is the Roxy X Makeup Revolution highlighter, the lighter shade from our latest collab. And then I also have this sponge tip applicator highlighter from Guerlain. This is a really pretty one. This actually looks a little bit like the Charlotte Tilbury highlighters, but it's a different shade. It's a really pretty rosy champagne shade. I put in a lash glue. This is the one from Queen Tarzi. Nothing special there. I put in 2 brow pens. I use these in tandem. So I have my Pink Honey in my brows, and then I use the Benefit Micro Filling Pen in blonde just to get some coverage. And then I use the NYX Brow Lift and Snatch in the shade Taupe to add a little bit of dimension. So I have quite a bit of eyeliners in here, and actually I would usually pack even more. So I have, of course, my blacks. These are from Essence and Ethos. And then I also from Essence have a casual brown one, a metallic dark blue, and I would usually also pack my white one, but I forgot. Then I have these from LA Girl. These are my pastel liners. I use these the most, I think, apart from my black one. So I like packing these. Then I have my Chanel Stylo Jeu in Intense Teal. This is also a really pretty one. It's metallic. And then I almost finished this one up, but this is my dual-ended eyeliner from Charlotte Tilbury in Copper Charge. Shall we quickly skip over to my palettes before we do lip products? So I have one highlighter palette. This is my palette from Dior. You probably have seen this. I can't leave the house without this. I really can't. It's so convenient. I use all of these shades. I even started using this one as a regular highlighter. It seems very dark, but it works. I like a little bit more of a deeper highlighter these days, apparently. Almost finished this one. Starting to see the pan in the other 2. Yeah, this is just a really solid one. And then I only brought one face palette. I'm not sure why. I usually bring a couple, but I chose the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Look of Love in a palette Pretty Blushed Beauty. Of course, this is also a classic on my channel. Use this bronzer today. Don't really use the powder. Use this blush today. Like these eyeshadows, use this one as a highlighter as well. This is just a really pretty palette. Mirror stands up on its own, so I can use it as my mirror when I'm doing my makeup. Then I also brought a blush palette. This is what I'm trying to get back into. It's from BH. It's the Vanilla Strawberry Truffle palette. And it's really pretty. It has these beautiful pinky shades. So this peachy one. And I like this. I don't know why I stopped using it. I think maybe the shades were a little bit too intense, but I like those intense shades now. Then for eyeshadow palettes, I chose my Michaela 10 pan palette. This is a little bit newer in my collection. So I used the green shades yesterday and also the first time I used it. And I used the brown shades once. But this is a really pretty palette. I love glam light palettes. Then I picked a lot of my Oden's Eye palettes. So I picked the Merry Christmas palette. I used the green shades today and this is one of my favorites. I don't think I picked the Christmas Eve palette this time. I don't know why. I think I wanted to do something with this sweater. And then I also picked out my Giant Wolves palette and my Red Dragon palette from the collabs with Judy and Annette's Makeup Corner. This one I want to try to get some more use out of. This is not my favorite. The formula is great, but color story is just not my favorite. And then this one is one of my favorites. So I just wanted to pick that one as well. And then because I'm really into blacks and grays and cool tones, I also decided to pick my Wild Jaguar palette from Huda Beauty. This is the one, if you remember So yeah, that's really pretty. I'm looking forward to using that. Then I just picked my biggest pack of lashes. These are from Action. I think they're only $1 and €1.19 for 5 pairs. And they're actually quite wearable and pretty styles. And they're quite comfortable. So I didn't have any time to put on a pair today, but usually I would. And then we're finishing it up with a lot of lip products. I'm not sure if I'm going to show you all of these. Honestly, there are really a lot of glam light products. So I have these 4 lip liners. This is from the Barbie collection. It's sort of a mauvey shade, sort of similar to my lip color. Then I have this dark brown, also from the Barbie collection. Then I have this sort of medium brown, which I'm wearing right now. This is from the Frosted Flakes. And then I have the pale one from the Michaela collab, which is one of my favorites. I also packed most of the corresponding lipsticks. So these are the lip glosses from the two Barbie collections. This is a mauvey one, and this is a beautiful yellow gold one, which is really quite yellow. It's really pretty. Then I also have the lipstick from the yellow Barbie collection, which is a dark brown. I think this is more of a satin formula. It's really pretty. I like those three yellow products combined. Then with the Frosted Flakes, there came this lipstick, which I'm also wearing right now, in this sort of peachy brown color, which is really nice. And then with another lip liner that I forgot to pack apparently, but I used the Michaela one with this, is this super frosty clear or actually white gloss, which is really sparkly, and this is one of my favorites. Then from the Michaela collab I also packed the lip gloss, which is almost finished, and the lipstick, which is actually also almost finished. This is a beautiful, very pale nude combination. I picked my Essence Extreme Shine Volume lip gloss. This is the reformulated one in Gold Dust. I'm actually wearing it right now. This is a really pretty one. And then I also packed a small Anastasia Beverly Hills lip gloss in the shade Tasty. This is a really pretty gloss on top of nude lipsticks as well. And speaking of nude lipsticks, I packed my favorite, which is Charlotte Tilbury Cover Star. As you can see, I came quite far with this one as well. Also from Charlotte Tilbury, I decided to pack my Angel Alessandra. I wore this a lot when I just got it, and then I sort of stopped wearing it. But I feel like I should start wearing it again. It's quite similar to the one I'm wearing right now, actually. This is really pretty. Oh, I had one more gloss. This is also from ABH. This is the sparkly lip gloss in Clouds. I'm almost done with this one, and it's one of my favorites, but I just need to finish it up and maybe repurchase it. And I have two lipsticks from Chanel. This is 402 Adrienne in the Cocoa formula. This is a really pretty mid-toned beigey nude on me. And then I also picked a fun color because it is winter and I feel like this is appropriate for the season. This is a vampy shade. I think the shade is called Swing. That's what it's called in the Flash formula. Then I like to combine a sort of cool tone nude lip liner with this lipstick. This is something that I sort of rediscovered. It's a brown sheer lipstick, not too shiny. It's really pretty. It's from, what's this brand again? The Schwarzkopf brand from the Got to Be, I think. So this is only available in Germany, but it's really nice. And then apparently I picked one more nude lipstick, but this one is more of a pinky nude. This is one of my favorites recently from Max Factor in the shade Simply Nude. And then finally I picked a fun color from Pat McGrath. This is Fuchsia Perfect, and I hope I'm getting somewhere out of this one. Because I keep wearing my nude lipsticks, because I do bright eye looks, and it's a little bit boring. So yeah, that was it for my Shop My Stash. I think I packed quite a lot of products, but I'm going to try to use these for the next couple of weeks. Of course, I'll also pick stuff from my other baskets whenever I want to, but these will be in reach for me. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.